Hey there folks, and welcome to this video. It's General Notices where I kick off the week by talking about what's coming up on the channel, talk about the channel itself, and then a couple of different articles that have come up on my radar. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's start talking about what we've got coming up on the channel this week. Starting off, I want to talk a little bit about the World Endurance Championship. We've got the WEC Prologue coming up this week, so I want to give a little bit of a prelude to what that is. I was hoping that for backing video, I'd be able to use Le Mans Ultimate with the actual LaSalle circuit, but that's not coming out for another 3 months now, apparently, so we'll see what I'll do for that one. I'll also then want to do a review for the F1 season launch. Another video in Assetto Corsa. It's funny, you can probably tell from my hair in this one compared to the one that came out on Thursday. I filmed those Assetto Corsa ones I used a couple of months ago. Well, about a month ago. It's strange. Then I want to do a preview for F1 preseason testing. Then on Sunday, probably NASCAR at Atlanta. I might have a couple of videos on the back burner just in case I can't do that. In terms of streams, I have iRacing, BUSR, and possibly also for the Bathurst 12 hours. ACC will be on next Monday around the time of the next general notice. And then WRC, Croatia in Rally 3s. So, yeah. There. Let's talk a little bit about the channel itself and the state of play on the channel. Because it's been a strange week, probably due to the algorithm. The thing is, smaller channels such as my own, I mean, I've recently passed 1,000 subscribers, which is really cool, tend to be more at the mercy of what the algorithm is looking for at that time. So I had 1,500 views across the week, 1.7k I think to be almost exact, the highest being Saturday in terms of views, 636, and the most viewed videos last week were 4 shorts, 3 of them game clips, 2 of them from last week, and the other one from the week before, and the non-gaming one was Carlo Perez's crash in the Arctic Lapland Rally. Outside of that, the Turkington video was the only other 2025 entry. The other half of the list were ones that generally are in my top 10 anyways, because they seem to be my longest burning in terms of video momentum. So that is my WRC 100% review, my WRC 2024 review, my Race 07 retrospective, my Rennsport review, and the RBR 2020 mod. Which, it's impressive to see that video nearly 5 years on still be one of my most viewed over the course of a week. However, halfway into Feb, views are up 32% on the second half of January, and watch time is up 13%. US is still the top for video views, 9.9%, and that's taken back over from the UK, but the UK is the top in terms of YouTube Shorts, 26.8%, and also overall 21.9% of views. In terms of watch time, 18.4% of it is from subscribers, and since subscriptions haven't picked up by doing the plug, the be sure to subscribe stuff early on, I would argue that means it's not really having a notable impact on viewership or retention of viewers. Another interesting one, though, is the watch time this month so far has almost predominantly been on phones. They are the leading device, but it's 49.7% for watch time. PCs are on 35%. But from there, let's get into the articles for this week. And start off with a bit of a strange one. The strangeness is because Adrien Fourmaux has become the first driver to receive a fine for the FIA for swearing in interviews. It's a €10,000 fine with a further €20,000 suspended for 12 months. For swearing during the broadcast of the power stage during the interview. Fourmaux said, "We effed up yesterday." This was in reference to the mistakes he made on the Saturday. Firstly, he didn't have his helmet strapped tightened properly and lost about 20 seconds, and then he went off into a snowbank and out of the event. But this is some of the stuff that's in the report, the steward's report on it. The stewards reminded the driver and the team representative of the stand of the FIA regarding not only inappropriate language, but also verbal/physical abuse, and making or displaying political, religious, and personal statements or comments notably in violation of the general principle of neutrality promoted by the FIA under its statutes. The stewards and the FIA acknowledge that the words in question have unfortunately become common colloquialisms. However, it is essential to emphasise that this does not diminish the fact that such language is widely regarded as profanity and is inappropriate in public discourse, including live television broadcasts. Interestingly, the version of emphasise that's used, I believe, is the one in American English. But yeah, he's the first person to fall foul of it. And it's probably not surprising that this WRC is the first one to have that. After all, it's one of the first FIA events that is taking place since these new rules came in. But it just, I don't know, it doesn't seem right. Right? I don't think a lot of people feel that it fits particularly right. You know, Persian drivers he's at the moment, they said, even in the report, that one of the mitigating factors is the fact that Fourmaux is French. So for him, and for a lot of non-native English speakers, or at least they claimed, it is more commonplace for terms that like the Fourmaux used to end up in the English version of staged interviews. I don't know though. It doesn't sit right. It just seems like the FIA really want to make money, and the best way for them to do it is to punish people for swearing. I don't know, that's just my thoughts and feelings. I know if I had any FIA credentials and was significant enough at this point, I'd probably be reprimanded myself and given a €10,000 fine. But I don't, so I won't, I guess. Let's wait and see on that one, shall we, eh? Either way, it's drawing that line in the sand. We'll see what the FIA does over the course of the rest of this year, but it looks like another one of those initiatives that doesn't actually help fix the core issues the FIA was having when Mohammed Ben Sulayem took the premiership. However, I want to move over to the next story now, which is one that is very heavy, but has somewhat optimistic outlook at the end. Because what's happened to Mathieu Baumel is a story of shock, horror, and optimism. A couple of weeks ago, on the way to the Monte Carlo Historic, the four-time Dakar winner and former Nasser Al-Attiyah co-driver stopped to help a fellow motorist who was broken down the side of the road when he was hit by another car. Reports suggested at the time that the car that hit him was going about 80 kilometers per hour. He was initially placed in a coma. Fortunately, he has since woken up from it, but had to have an emergency surgery in which his right leg was amputated. On a social media post, he said, "So I have a new full carbon system on my new leg, but unfortunately not be my original leg. I had 3 different surgeries to try to fix my left leg, which should be okay for the future, so I'm working hard to keep everything running well." He also suggested that he'd want to be back in the navigator seat soon, setting a target of Dakar next year alongside Guillaume de Mevieux, who he has navigated for this year in the Dakar. Said Baumel has run as navigator for multiple drivers, most notably Nasser Al-Attiyah. But when I saw the original reports of him going into coma, it was upsetting, because he's a guy who seemingly is well respected and well liked amongst his peers. And to have it happen when he was helping somebody out, I mean, the original statement when he was in a coma came from his father. And yeah, good to see the rallying world keeping an eye on him. Adrian Fourmaux, when he issued a public apology for swearing, which goes beyond what the FIA's guidelines have on it. Said that he was thinking of Matthew and hoping that he was okay, which shows sportsmanship and shows that he recognised the opportunity to use the platform for good. Hopefully we see him back in the navigator seat soon, and hopefully he'll make the best recovery he can now. I'm going to end this video with the third article now, and it's a bit of a surprising one, because four-time BTCC champion Colin Turkington shocked the tin top world this week when expecting an announcement for 19th season with Restore Racing. Fans instead received a message that the 72-time race winner would be stepping away from the BTCC for 2025. There's not one single reason for this, simply a combination of factors and feelings that has helped me make this decision, he said. For now, I don't know if that is for good, but I look back with huge pride at the amazing career I've had since debuting as a fresh-faced teenager from Northern Ireland in 2002. You can't help but feel similarities with Matt Neal, who stepped away in the 2020-21 off-season, more so than Jason Plato, who announced mid-2021 that he was retiring. But still, it's a massive shock, and we hope to see him soon. But it's strange to see anybody who is assumed to be on the entry list not coming back. I'd done my recap of the 2024 preseason predictions to the BTCC, in which I've now had to edit it as I'm counting this as the champion announcing retirement part that I had originally disqualified. It's, strange in a way, but at the same time, his BTCC career goes all the way back to 2002. He's right about that. It goes back to 2002. Even with West Surrey, he was in the Atomic Kitten MG at the time. Think about how much that series has evolved since then. Think about how few drivers have had such a storied career, full-time racing, nonetheless. Kevin Harvick comes close in NASCAR. Tin tops are usually a lot more common for that to happen in. Gabriele Tarquini, for example, who retired, 2020, 2019, 2021? When he retired after the WTCR race at Sochi. There are lots of people who are doing longer full-time careers now. Look at Fernando Alonso, who, he took a couple of years out of F1, but like Turkington took, a year out of the BTCC, did he? And Alonso's still racing. He's still racing in Formula 1 even. I hope it's not the last we see of him. Matt Neal we have seen around because Dynamics are now working with Speedworks, but even Dynamics disappeared off the face of the BTCC as well, as did Honda. Well, certainly throw some things wide open in the BTCC this year, because one thing you'd always count on, almost always, is that Turkington would be in at least mathematical contention for the title at the season's end. But bit of a strange one, this one. And on that note, we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for watching and joining as always. I hope that you have enjoyed. I hope you've gotten something out of it. Let me know your thoughts on any of the articles in the comment section down below, and I hope to see you around for more. So, until next time, bye for now.